Welcome to our next podcast. Different backdrop. It's raining pretty bad. We're not against the brick wall. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Cody Barnett. Many accolades, many ways to describe him, but he's Cody Barnett. Cody, how you doing?
So good. Carrie, thank you for joining my team and being the MVP.
All right. So yesterday we interviewed Lauren. Today we're interviewing Cody. Technically it's the day before, but happy birthday, Cody. He's turning 26 today on the 26th of February. It is his golden birthday. Real quick, I want you to share with everybody, if the Open didn't start tomorrow, what would you be doing today for your birthday, your 26th birthday?
I would have done a marathon, 26.2, because, I'm turning 26 on the 26th, 26.2 miles. But because the Open is literally tomorrow, even though it's technically 2 days from now.
Still not.
But tomorrow, I will not be doing that, considering I don't want to be absolutely destroyed and not able to complete the Open.
It would be it would make the gym a lot more fair. Like it's your example of Matt Frazier running a marathon.
Okay.
If you ran it, I would have a chance of beating you in the Open.
You
think I would?
Yeah.
Week 1.
100%.
The first workout. But the other 2 you'd probably make up for.
You wouldn't be wrecked but I don't know if I would I'd have to make up a lot. I'd be hurting really bad.
For a week?
Yeah, for the
second workout?
I don't know if it would be the second workout, but I'd be hurting.
Yeah.
I ran a half marathon, I don't even know, like a month ago. Less than.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, out of the blue. Woke up one day and was like, I'm just going to go do it. So I ran a half marathon, and the next day it was rough. Like, I was just everything. My legs were so sore.
So this is Cody. You know him. You love him. He loves the Lions.
Yeah, I think I've worn this almost every podcast.
I guess I'll start how we ask everybody. What's your I'm gonna try to do this as if I don't know you.
Or you don't know me at all.
How long have you been doing CrossFit? What got you into it? Tell me about that.
I mean, you already know this, so I'm speaking to the camera, I guess.
Right.
Trying to make it seem like I'm not. I got into CrossFit because, people either get into CrossFit because of Rich Froning or Matt Frazier, and mine was Rich Froning.
Okay.
Or Tia.
I mean, that could be true, but men could get.
Yeah, no, it's not always the case, but I feel like that's a very high percentage of why people get into CrossFit, and I saw Rich Froning in 2013 at the games. I think it was on ESPN at the time or something. I had seen him.
So you just had the TV on and you saw it?
Yeah, or I saw a clip on YouTube or something.
Okay.
And I was like, that's my guy. Fell in love with him in 2013, and then 2014 rolled around, and I was obsessed. So
that would have been like freshman and sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, something like that. I had done CrossFit before that.
That's right.
In middle school, we had a family friend who had a gym at their house, and she was a CrossFit trainer. And so I'd go, and with her son, we'd do CrossFit workouts and stuff like that.
How often was that? How many?
A couple times a week.
For a while?
Yeah, for a decent amount. I hated it, though, because I always I wanted to get really strong.
Yeah.
And we'd lift, but I had different
you were tiny
expectations.
like really tiny.
Yeah, small.
So I wanted to get bigger.
Yeah. So we do like the typical CrossFit workouts. We do a strength and then a Metcon.
Like full hour?
Yeah. And it was great. But my first love was football, and so I really wanted to focus on football. And then in 2014, I literally became obsessed with CrossFit, and
As a sport.
Yeah, because when I was training in middle school, it was literally for football.
Yeah,
but I thought it was stupid because we'd run like 400s and
which weren't translating.
Do a couple air squats and stuff. Yeah, and it was great, but I didn't love it at the time.
Back then, or even like throughout high school, who would have been your second favorite? I know like it's hard to even pick a favorite unless it's like somebody like Rich. But like there's so many dudes.
Yeah, there is.
Who would have been like, and like it's Rich's friends too.
I love Dan Bailey. I would say I really liked Ben Smith a lot. He was and still is such a good dude. I don't know. I was just so obsessed with Rich.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel like there's a few guys. Like, I didn't really hate anyone. I loved BKG for a long time.
He was young.
He was young.
Yeah.
BKG, when we know you're listening, shout out.
Jorgvin.
Yeah.
What about females back then?
Back then.
Like, I mean, that's obviously the peak of,
yeah,
not the peak, but like when CrossFit was getting popular. So there's
LeBlanc Bazinet.
Okay.
Huge. But I wasn't a huge fan of hers.
I'm not a fan of her, but I never really knew her.
She was cool at the time. Sorry, Cammy.
So you weren't really interested in the women's side?
I liked. I mean, Sam Briggs was always awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason Khalipa. Shout out. I met you at Rogue.
Yeah.
You were really cool to watch.
Put the picture in.
Let's see. Yeah, Lauren Fisher was fun to watch. I don't know. I wasn't as deeply invested into the women's field at the time.
Fair. I mean, you were a teenage boy, so you saw the ripped dudes and wanted to.
That's what I wanted to be.
Be like them. Okay, so you did CrossFit in middle school, became a big fan of the sport throughout high school.
Yes.
And you did it a little bit like at your house.
Yeah.
You had like a rig, a squat rack rig with a pull-up bar on it,
lifting
free weights, stuff like that. Yeah. So like describe what you do. Like you've told me like, oh, I really want to learn butterfly pull-ups. You just stayed in that room for a few hours until you learned it.
Yeah.
Same with the rope climbs and all
I would always get like so football was my first love, so I never devoted all my time to CrossFit. But I'd get like an itch and like I'd do like a spurt, like a week of hard CrossFit and then
meaning like everything that CrossFit entails.
Yeah, like I'd train, like I'd do like a Metcon or I'd do like strength and then 2 Metcons and some skill stuff. And then I'd just like
like all throughout high school? Like
but it would be like it'd be like small spurts, like a couple days at a time.
Did you program that yourself or
usually? Yeah.
Okay.
Or
and that just came from you watching the games and being like, oh, that's a cool concept and stuff like that.
100%.
Okay.
But then I would like find a skill that I couldn't do. Like I remember the first one was double unders, and I bought a jump rope, and the next day spent like 3 hours outside just trying to learn how to do double unders.
And you did learn it.
And I did, yeah. And then pull ups, like doing kipping, butterfly pull ups.
Did you learn kipping first?
No.
Okay, you just you still can't really do them.
I
mean, you could,
but not.
Yeah.
Like people say, you should be able to do kipping longer than.
Yeah.
And I cannot do that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything different, and I just learned butterfly. But then, like, also I bought rings and went outside and learned how to do ring muscle
on a tree.
In a tree. But yeah, there was always something that I was like doing and focusing everything on in CrossFit, and then I'd do that for a little bit, and then I'd stop and then go back and forth.
Yeah. And then, so like you actually doing CrossFit wasn't until like
So you got in, yeah.
So you'll probably ask me about this when you interview me, but like after college, you were like, hey, we did the whole bobsled thing, but
still have the whole template.
Really? For it, yeah. I have the picture that Haley and John made me in the frame.
That's true.
When like we started doing that, that was your first like, or not your first, but that was the first time you'd stayed consistent with it.
Correct. Yeah.
And was it just because it was like we're together and stuff,
Yeah.
and like Carson would do it,
Yeah.
and like Lauren would occasionally do
Yeah.
it,
And I think also I
just
wasn't.
because you had people with you.
Football was done
Oh
at that
yeah,
point, and like I was fully committed to, because like before I was committed to like getting as fast as possible, as explosive as possible, as strong as possible. And CrossFit can help with that, but not to the level that other things can. And so then once football was done after college, I was like, okay, I like CrossFit, let's do it. So that helped.
Which of the three aspects of CrossFit, like endurance, gymnastics, and weightlifting, which of those came the most natural to you? Like when you started in high school, which one did you
Oh,
have to put the most work in to be where you're at now? Which one's your favorite? Like, I guess start
easiest
with
has been weightlift. Like,
just
I
comes
don't know
natural
why.
to
Yeah. Like, I remember a lot of times I would, like, even in college, I would squat clean a bar and people would be like, hey, you squat clean, because everyone would just power clean.
Yeah.
Or uh, we do we do like snatch grip lunges overhead, like
Gross.
in college, and I'd always do like most people couldn't even barely hold it
Right.
up over, and then I'd be doing like 155, and people are like, "Whoa!" Like that's just naturally come easy for me, which is awesome. But then most, I'd say endurance has not been the easiest
Mhm.
for me.
Well, like we did that. I
That was
didn't do
so
it.
bad.
That yeah, just a long 40-minute
Yeah,
machine and running,
machines are the
which
worst
like
thing
you're
for me.
good at them though.
I'm not.
Like you're
No, I'm
relative
not
to a
great.
games field, you're not, but relative to the average person, you're really good at them still.
I hate them so much. So
And
any
then
like machine, I hate it. But then like what is
gymnastics,
most fun is
you're
gymnastics.
really good at,
That's been like as of recently, that's like the easiest thing for me.
and that's because you're, like you said, naturally just really strong, and like you've worked for it, not just naturally, but then you're not like you're at a low enough body weight where that like is
I
still
don't have
like
to. Yeah,
easy for you to
yeah.
cycle everything.
Which is crazy to think like some people are heavier than me, like 190, 200, and they
uh,
can do even more.
oh, like games, yeah,
Yeah, it's just crazy to think.
yeah. If you like watch Cody weightlift, it's like, oh, he's like you've put a lot of work into getting bigger, and you have obviously, but you're still like not
I'm
you're not
not the
huge,
biggest. No.
and it's just so impressive to see the weight you put up at what your body is like. Yeah, it's insane. I always like you'd look at us and be like, oh, this guy can lift more. This guy would be the other stuff, but no, he's just better at everything.
Okay.
Um, one thing I remember when we first started, like when I first started, was when you got me into like the sport as well, and I would just like sit and watch everything. I remember at your house, and I think your dad was part of the conversation, or maybe it was Lauren, and we were doing thrusters, and you just did it like so beautifully, and like I didn't really know anything different. Like I didn't know what I looked like, and it was probably so ugly. But like I had watched past games on YouTube, and I knew what Rich looked like. And I told you once, you look exactly like how Rich does it. And like it's pretty common knowledge that Rich Froning is like the best mover of all time. Like sure, Matt could like go head to head with him in like capacity and stuff, but the way Rich moves is so perfect. Like if you look at his squat, it's just smooth, and his knees and like all that. And it just looked identical to it, and you're like, that is. I didn't know it, but you're like, that is the best compliment
Yeah.
you could ever give me.
I actually vividly remember what
Yeah.
workout it was.
Oh, really?
It's 21.3, and it was
21.3. Okay.
it was um 15 15 thrusters,
Oh yeah,
30, 15, or
with
15 front
like
squats and
gymnastics,
whatever. Yeah, we
front
couldn't do
squat,
bar muscle
gymnastic,
ups because
and thrusters. Yeah.
so we did like I think it was like pull-ups.
And dips?
No, it was like pull-ups, toes to bar, and then the last one was chest to bar.
Okay, yeah.
We could barely do that.
Yeah. So that movement, do you think that is natural, or do you think that came from watching so much of Rich or combo?
I mean, I feel like I've always been like a visual learner. Like I see something and then I can kind of mimic that. So yeah, I feel like just watching Rich or whoever move for so long. And I mean, I was obsessed with exercise science for my whole life.
That's right. You have
So,
that
like,
huge book that you'll just like occasionally read a few pages out of.
So like I've watched so many people move, not just like CrossFitters.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that was a big help in me moving smoothly.
Yeah. I had a question. Shoot.
Do you remember the first Murph?
Yeah. Ask me about that tomorrow.
No, I will. But do you remember? It was like at like 9 p.m. or something. It was like pitch black.
Oh yeah. It was like getting to be pitch black.
Yeah, I remember when we finished. It was so dark.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
Sorry, I just
the
first thing I thought of.
Okay, so that's your CrossFit story.
Sure.
Tell me about your other athletics. Growing up, as far as you want to go, up till when you started CrossFit
you don't know
seriously.
my background.
You seem like a tennis player.
Yeah, I played a lot of sport, like every sport growing up. And then once we got to like middle school, is football, basketball, baseball, like every other kid. We played on the same team basically since first grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were so good at basketball.
Yeah,
Shout out Coach Kylie.
Yeah, seriously. And then once I got to high school, I kind of made a decision because I loved football so much. I was like, okay, I'll be done with basketball and baseball after freshman year, and I just focused on football and track to get faster for football, and then would just work out during the winter and whatnot. And then after high school, played football at PLU. Shout out Zach Willis, Brant McAdams. We know you're watching.
Derek Rahman.
Derek
Derek did watch first episode. Did you see his DM?
Yeah.
She said episode 1. Derek, what was that?
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Derek. Shout out Oakville. Shout out Daniel Rodas and what's his?
5 Big Booms.
No, the cleaning company.
Deluxe. No, all around fresh detailing.
Yeah, if you need
such a dumb name.
Yeah, I know. If you need your car cleaned, all around fresh detailing, hit him up. Yeah. Anyways, I played football at PLU, ran track there for my freshman year. I hated it. I didn't hate it. I did it with Lauren.
Yeah. How much did you like? It's probably different than high school.
Yeah.
How much did you like hang out with her during track?
The whole day, like.
Oh, okay.
The whole
practice.
Yeah. Because once we had a.
You jumped. You both jumped. So.
And I started jumping like
sprinted too.
3 weeks before league. So I didn't want to do it, and the coach was like, "Hey, you can get points."
I went to their league meet.
I hated it.
It was near my school, and you took second. Yeah. And the guy from my school
was
like like no one was touching him. But he didn't win nationals, did he?
No, but he did
close. Yeah. Wait, where'd you go from second in conference? Was there like just straight national? You didn't.
You would have had. I would have had to go to another meet to.
Okay.
And I
like a regional thing.
Spring ball was starting. And that's.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Got it.
Yeah, I remember talking to our coach, Kurt, is his name, Lauren's dad. And I had told, he said, I think if you tried, you could get a higher score and possibly get to nationals.
What did you get at conference?
6.4.
Is that your all-time PR?
No, I mean
in a meet.
Yeah.
What's your all-time?
6.6.
That's wild.
In practice.
Like that's Luca. You jump over Luca. You could pick 99% of the NFL and you jump over them.
Yeah, correct. Not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to continue with I loved being there with Lauren, but I didn't really love high jumping that much. To me, it was not the most fun. And so I would rather have done spring ball. So I said,
Yeah.
I'm
Plus,
done.
like football was like that upcoming year was like, oh, I can like be a guy, you know. Like freshman year, you're on special teams and you played
Yeah.
a little
Well, actually,
elsewhere.
you know what's funny is that year was my transition. So the spring ball was the
Was
first
spring
time.
when you started DB?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I came in
Uh-huh.
because I had come into it like 3 days late, technically
Oh,
from
because of
track.
track.
Yeah. And so I came in and I just was like I was like sixth string.
Really?
And I did
Corner. Yeah.
and then got moved
And
up
by the
very
time
quickly.
August moved around, you're first.
I think by the time spring ball was
Ended.
basically ended. Yeah.
That's wild. How hard was it to catch up on the defense, like the
Very
scheme?
easy. Yeah.
Easier than offense, but
Yeah.
like still complicated.
Yeah.
It's college. So like at the end of spring ball, you were like, oh, I'm like, come fall, I'm gonna be starting.
I
knew
knew
that,
I'd be at least second string
be
at the
playing
time.
a lot.
I would be rotating in,
Mhm.
and that because we had meetings, and that's what
Yeah.
our coach had said. And then there was those fires.
Oh yeah.
It sucked. We had a practice at UW
Oh yeah.
because there was
In
so
spring or fall?
in fall, and that was when they were
Really?
like, hey, you're going in.
That's cool.
So,
It was up there.
yeah,
It was indoor at
yeah,
UW, right?
so
Yeah.
sick.
Oh,
Dempsey.
duh. Yeah. And then you've told me this before, but the most nervous, maybe not in your whole life, but in sports at least,
Yep.
was your first start in college
Yep.
down at Cal.
Yeah, I don't really get nervous for things. I don't know why. I just have never really.
Like, were you nervous at your wedding? Not very
Not really.
comparable, but okay.
Like even like Gig Harbor, I wasn't nervous or
Yeah.
Sumner. Shout out those games. Shout out Ryan Flood. Shout out Connor Whittington.
Shout out Chavis Davis.
Yeah. Yeah, I was never. I don't know. I never really had gotten nervous for sports. Like a league for track, I was not nervous in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, the first game that I was going to start my sophomore year um, at Cal, I was very nervous. Like the whole week leading up,
Like hard time eating and like
I remember
all you could think
the day
about was that.
before. We were sitting at like because you at the hotel they have the food in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was sitting. Brant was next to me, Coach Brant, head coach, and he made a comment of like you haven't literally touched your food, like you need to get something down before. And I didn't, but yeah.
After that game, or like at what point did it go away? Like first snap or first hit or the whole game? Were you like that?
No. After maybe a drive, I was fine.
Okay. You know how people talk about like your welcome to the NFL moment? Did you have a welcome to college football moment?
No, I feel like I had more of a welcome to high school football.
Ooh, which was?
I
have an answer for that too.
It was scout team when what's his name is Clay and what's the dude that transferred?
Joel? No.
Joel, yeah, Joel something, who played at Cincinnati. So
Yeah.
two Division I massive humans, and I'm a 5'8", 115-pound sophomore playing scout team running back, and I remember I got it up and I spun off of Clay, and I thought, oh, this is awesome. And as I spun,
Joel
DeBlanco hit me. Oh, what? He plays in the NFL?
He played for the Seahawks, I guess. Probably like preseason.
That's
I guess
sick.
in this picture.
Anyways,
CFL
he
draft.
hit me as I'm spinning.
You
lifted
spun
me
away
off the
from
ground.
Clay
Yeah,
and into Joel.
and as I'm spinning, he leveled me, like literally depleted me. And then like Foster Sorrell.
Did he like land on you
Yeah.
hard?
Sucked.
Which Clay wouldn't have done. You know?
No.
He would have
Been nicer.
So Clay was a junior. It was Joel a year older?
Yeah.
Then Clay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Sorry, Mom.
Oh. You got to go.
Time. Hold on. I'm going to call her. And
since you asked, my welcome to high school football moment.
Yeah, actually, I'm curious.
Freshman year, me and Scott got to travel with JV to South Kitsap.
Yeah.
They were really bad. And I was kicking the whole game. Caden was my holder. Tyler Hong was the snapper.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, Scott and I got in, and Scott's running the ball a few times, and I'm just like blocking, like L or slot and
skip.
wing. Yeah.
Up
and then we ran a 25 counter. I was on the right, and it was going to the left.
Yeah.
I had the ball, and there's pictures on Facebook of the play, and I had the ball. It was one of the Nike balls that was like not a good ball, and like I got hit a little bit, and like the ball is like, how like a bad football player.
I remember this,
where it's not like here, it's like straight up and down, and then like I'm going to the ground, and this kid, like, I swear he speared me in the head, but it just rocked my head, and I was probably a little bit of concussion. I never had like a diagnosed concussion.
Yeah, I remember hearing.
And it was just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to. I like that hurt really bad.
Yeah.
And it was just like it didn't like. I remember like in TCYFL when like you go against Zayden and like you get like a little headache. It wasn't like that. It was just like
shout out
such
Zayden.
a big impact on my body, and it was just like, all right, this is JV. Like, what the heck are we doing? Which also reminds me that same year on C team we played at South Kitsap, and this was
fell on a ball, right?
Yeah, this is like my peak speed.
Yeah.
Relative to people. And so me and you were the kickoff returners.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure you were.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I was like about to break.
Yes.
That's right.
Well,
yeah. Because I landed on the tee. So I had to be on the opposite 40. And I just got like shoestring tackled. And I had the ball probably in my right hand. And I like fell forward. The tee, I landed on the tee and on the ball just right here, and just wind out of me. I thought I was dying.
I remember.
And I roll up, and I'm like, and like gasping for air. And you were probably around there.
I definitely,
But Peter Choi was just laughing as hard as anybody could laugh. I'm like,
shout out Peter Choi.
I'm like trying to survive. But I also recognize that it probably does look really funny. And like I've had scenarios with you where like I'm throwing up.
Yeah.
And like I'm trying to survive. But you're like laughing. I'm like, yeah, like I can feel this, but I can see what it looks like. That was not a welcome to high school football, but just same field, same year.
Oh, that field sucks because Scott broke his collarbone.
Yeah. And now it's coconut turf or whatever. We never played on it when it was.
Oh, the heck!
You know what I mean? Like the corkscrews, not whatever. So that's your athletic career. You played 3 years in college because you graduated early. Yeah. And then the fourth year would have been COVID anyway, so kind of it was a good time to get out of there.
Yep.
But it kind of sucked to end like that. So you're obviously not like you wouldn't call yourself a competitive CrossFitter. No. But like you could very easily be. So Cody
very easily is.
So I'm gonna let you answer a question first, but don't go too far on the answer. Cody's been doing CrossFit for forever. Last year was the first time you did the open. Why?
Well,
And do you regret it?
Yeah, I do regret it. For everyone listening, I had always said that I was never going to do the open until I believed I could move on to like a semifinals or regionals at the time level.
Which I understand that.
Yeah.
Like
thought it would have been cool.
Like when I played Madden, it's like, oh, if I don't have a good rookie season, like this fake player's career is a waste. Yeah. Like you have to win rookie of the year, or it's what are you doing?
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, I don't know. Because I've always wanted to do it competitively, CrossFit. So I wanted my first season or open to be like a true competitive season, which in hindsight is really dumb, and I wish I had done the open. So if any kids are out there saying the exact same thing I did, just do the open. It's a good test of fitness, as well as it'll get you in the door into a CrossFit gym, or if you're doing it at home, you'll get to see how you level up. But yeah, it was a really weird and stupid thing.
So he does it for the first time last year.
Correct.
And the open goes well. Not like great.
It was not
for
great.
you, but well enough. Like he did pretty darn good. And then quarterfinals, you were in a better, like you're more prepared. Not that you weren't prepared fitness wise. You just like the first one last year, you walked in the door, didn't warm up, and just went for it pretty much.
Yeah,
And
I feel like I'm
then you were
better
sick
with
and
quarterfinal workouts than
that's
open
true
as well. Like
because
I'm
you're
way
high
more-
skilled and
yeah.
high strength and stuff. So then quarterfinals comes. Is that 4 workouts?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in each region, our region being North America West, you have to get top, or in the old system, you had to get top 40 to move on to semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
Cody was 420th, I believe, 425th, which sounds like, oh, and he's way off. But that's out of like 10,000 people. So whatever percentage that is. Crazy, crazy accomplishment. So being now like a gym owner, what I don't think this year you have like, you're not like, oh, I'm trying to get top 200 or anything.
No.
But what do you think about this season, the Open, and there's no quarterfinals now, but like moving into the Community Cup, like what's your kind of goals, and not to like put pressure on yourself, but just like what do you think you can do, and what like you know?
I don't know. I mean, I think I can get hopefully in that 90th percentile. Hopefully, we'll see. I haven't really been able to train as much, and obviously you know that.
We're just back warming up.
Yeah, I believe I remember him saying the doctor said I popped my pelvis out of place, I believe, in the bottom of a warm up squat. So I've been recovering still. I mean,
This was like 5 months ago.
yeah, I'm still at a point where I'm not like, I'm close to 100%, but it's not like I can go all out all the time. But yeah, no, I don't know. Hopefully I can get 90th percentile. I don't really like this season for me is more about the gym and like
the people that
people around here and trying to make it a good community event, which is weird because that's like not where my brain has been for the last
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years, 12 years. So I feel like that's kind of my shift. Hopefully for next season, I'll buckle down and be able to like really go at it. But yeah.
What do you go at it? What are the main things? Like you said, in like machine stuff, but
yeah,
what do you think you need? Obviously, in all aspects, like, but what are you going to focus on?
I mean, strength is like, yes, I'm strong, but relative to a semifinal athlete, I am not.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. So strength, as well as just like capacity and all, like gymnastics. I'm great at gymnastics, but again, I need to increase that, and then just have a bigger work capacity for I don't know, longer duration stuff.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That makes sense. Anything else you want to talk about as a CrossFit athlete? Actually, I have 2 questions. In your however long, 15, whatever you want to call it,
Sure.
what's the absolute worst workout you've done, like that has left you hating CrossFit, hating life the most?
Ooh.
Or like worst pain you've been in after a workout? There's obviously a few that come to mind.
Yeah. Actually, so I had a CrossFit coach in 20. I don't even know.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve Bidwell. We know you're watching. Shout out. He's still programming for people, so at Steve Bidwell, go get his programming. I had him for a while, and some of the workouts he programmed were the single worst things I've ever done. One that comes to mind was Echo bike sprints. You do like 12 calories as fast as you possibly can. And then
like we're talking like 15 seconds.
Yeah. Straight into 24 jumping lunges. And that one,
or jumping air squats.
Those, like, I remember feeling like I was gonna, like, my legs were gonna fall off. So those were pretty bad. I don't know. I mean, there was a few grunt workouts he gave me that were really terrible. But yeah, I don't think besides those I've ever like
Event 2, bad.
Event
the way you're
2,
like, yelling at.
Yeah. We did a competition, Skylar and I. It was like an online Cascade
Classic.
Yeah, Cascade
Competed
Classic.
against James Sprague.
Yeah, no big deal, kind of.
Probably
And there is Event 2 is what we call it. That's all we have to say. Their Event 2 was third.
It's like a light Fran.
Two rounds.
30 thrusters at 75
and
20
pull-ups.
pull-ups.
And I remember, I mean, it's like literally less than 3 minutes.
I'll put a clip in of you at the end.
I genuinely didn't think I was going to survive. Like, on the floor. Yeah, I was screaming.
We both did it twice. So like we knew what it'd feel like, and then you went faster.
Yeah. That one, oh gosh, that was so bad. That's definitely number one.
And it's like such a quick workout where like
it doesn't hurt until after.
Like yours was probably, it was under 4 minutes for you.
Yeah.
So it's like one song. But both times we did it, we played Cinderella Man by Eminem and Bad Habits by the Ginger.
Yeah. Ed Sheeran. Yeah.
So if we hear those songs, like we know
PTSD.
Like like literally we're train whatever.
Yeah.
Throw back to that. What's your favorite workout you've ever done? Again, could be many answers. They won't get upset if you leave one out.
Oh, no. Like in terms of like how proud I am, or just like
how proud you are. Yeah.
I think the Murph in like 40 minutes or something like that. Have the time.
Yeah. Was that at Eastside? That was a good run.
Yes, it was. So we did Murph once a month for.
It wasn't that long, but like 4 or 5 months.
Might have been even more.
Maybe.
Let me see. So it was.
I can't believe we did that.
44-40, which.
Wow.
Yeah.
It stacks up against the games.
Yeah, if I had done that at the CrossFit Games in 2015, I would have gotten top 10, I think. And so that was like the most proud I've ever been. That one I sold my soul. I remember. No, it was at my parents' house, I think.
With the hill?
Yeah, because I remember coming up the hill, and because Marcus was there with it.
Oh, okay.
He had done it with us. Yeah.
Well, you could see the date if you have the screenshot. All right, no, yeah,
that's a good point.
Say when you screenshotted it.
But yeah, that's like the most proud I've been of a workout. Like I feel like I sold my soul there to get it. And May 29th, 2021. Oh wait, hold on.
That'd be your parents' house, yeah.
There's so many.
If that was the day, that was definitely your parents' house.
Yeah.
Because you weren't married yet. Okay, moving on from you competing and whatnot. I'm not going to talk about or ask about like how the gym came to be and stuff. But you've had, like when I asked about you in high school, like you just programmed your own workouts. You've always had that brain of like, you're good at programming, you really enjoy it. Where does that come from? Just the love of exercise
I don't know. Yeah, the love of exercise science. I don't know. Yeah, I've always loved science and like biology. I did really good in that class and that sort of thing. Lauren did not. She did okay, not as good as me.
I was gonna say, I'm sure she did fine.
But yeah, I feel like pause.
You're talking about programming.
Oh yeah, that I was saying how I did really good in biology. And, like sciences come easy, and that's what. And then like exercise science has been my favorite thing. And then from there, it's just like a nerdy love seeing numbers and things put together.
Yeah, it's like a language kind of,
Yeah.
or J.R. Howell would probably call it like an art form.
Oh, 100%
Like
an
you can
art.
tell a story with
100% an art.
programming.
Yeah.
And you program for our gym.
Correct.
You've followed different programs in the past. We did Mayhem a while ago.
Sentinel.
We did Sentinel, Taylor Self
Shout out
for a
Taylor.
bit. So you've kind of drawn from those
Yeah.
to get different styles and
Mhm.
thoughts. What do you like? Like, do you think you have your own flair, your own accent to programming?
Yeah, I think so.
And do you
I
think
think it comes from training you.
really?
Like, yeah, just making you suffer.
Do you think you have a bias in your training at all? In your programming? I mean?
Oh, I'm sure. I feel like everyone does.
Yeah. What do you think yours would be? I think his is putting too much volume in.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably like
That
literally.
he can do, but we can't.
Yeah, making people really suffer. I don't know. Yeah, probably. That I think about like, oh, I want to like you get aggressive early in the week, and then
Oh yeah, you forget that the body's gonna
yeah,
be hurting by
yeah,
the end.
yeah. Ben Smith always said that he'd like
Oh.
program, and they'd like be aggressive Monday, and then Tuesday they'd be like, okay, let's dial it back.
Yeah. Um. Another question about the gym. You, like you said, you this year you're about to open. You're mainly thinking about like our members and stuff.
Yeah.
What like? How have you seen yourself grow as a CrossFitter, but just as a person, like since opening the gym, and how it's like changed you, like owning a business
What
and
a
like
deep question.
having members that are like under you that are mostly like older than you, also
All
stuff
of them,
like
pretty much all of them.
Yeah. Including your
Yeah, I
parents.
feel like that's including this is our first live show, by the way.
Oh yeah, we have an audience.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's maybe you could answer that. I feel like I've had to, and I'm sure you would agree, and we'll probably talk about it tomorrow. But just like you have to like really not mature, but like you now have so many responsibilities with it. And I feel like that's been a big thing of like learning how to talk to adults better and like um, as well as kids, and like then having to do all these different things with the business, and that means like literally stepping up and maturing and
Having a wide
like
range of skill set,
very.
which I think
wide.
is one thing that we've all three been good at, and
Yeah.
it's been nice to have three of
Three
us,
people,
three
yeah.
different personalities and strengths.
Yeah,
But like you're doing like marketing, which you have a degree in, obviously, but like you're working with ads and you're programming workouts, coaching the workouts. You're trying to sell people to come here.
yeah. There's so many different things that you have to like.
Yeah,
You don't have to be great at any one thing, but you have to be good at everything.
yeah.
Which,
I enjoy that part where I
Yeah.
like to dabble in things.
Yeah.
One thing, this isn't really a question, but it's kind of a compliment and like one of the. It's also like I'm not trying to compliment myself, but it's
Okay.
kind of a pair thing.
Yeah.
But it's just something I've noticed about us that I think is really cool. We talk a lot. I think you guys have probably got that.
On Tuesday,
idea.
we FaceTimed 9 times.
Oh yeah,
9.
I could count yesterday's. I probably wasn't as many yesterday.
Probably not.
But one thing I've thought is really cool is when we do talk, like it's pretty much every day we talk about like almost everybody at the gym.
Yeah.
Like we're still small enough where like we know everybody, even if they're new, we like get to know them quick.
Yeah.
And as people, obviously, but as athletes as well. And like at like 10:30 a.m., he'll call me and be like, how was the workout this morning? Yeah. And like I'll tell him about each person.
Yeah.
And so even though he's not coaching Ralph every day, he knows like Ralph's strengths and weaknesses and how he moves and like how he was each day. And then same thing at night. Like we'll recap the day usually, and it's not like on purpose. We're not like, okay, at this time let's talk about like how did Sam do on the handstands today.
Yeah.
But it's just like, hey, Sam did really good. Like I think it's really cool, and he just wants to let me know that. And like, so when we switch mornings and nights, it's like we're not really missing a beat.
No.
In that regard.
Yeah.
So I just think that's really cool that like it shows that we care for everybody.
Yeah.
So much. So
yeah.
Good job. Yeah. One other compliment I've always wanted to say to you.
Oh.
But I know, and it's not a big deal. I know when I give Cody compliments, sometimes he's like, "That's really stupid." Like,
yeah, I hate it.
It's just our friendship.
Yeah.
And this is really stupid. So I've never wanted to bring it up.
Until this podcast.
Whenever we FaceTime, you're really good at ending the call, like physically ending it.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's never like an awkward like just like staring at the phone with two people searching for it. Every time we FaceTime, I've never hung up.
Really?
And I just want you to know I appreciate it a lot. And I'm sure the next time we FaceTime,
100%,
he's just going to leave it on.
Yep.
But you're really good at just doing it quick. I don't know if you have the button like ready to go or not.
Oh, Rain Man.
But yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because when I talk to other people, I'm like, oh, this is kind of awkward for like half a second longer. But
thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I got a question for Cody's dad. He'll come in now.
You don't have to come in the shot if you don't want to.
I think he should.
But you can.
Come on in.
Why not? Why not?
Here's Cody's dad. So this
Here.
interview is all about Cody. It is his birthday tomorrow.
Yes.
But we're airing it today.
26
years ago.
Wow.
Cody was born.
8:13 p.m.
8:13 p.m.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Nice. We should have a class.
If it isn't, we'll
we
go
should
with
have
it.
a class at that time tomorrow.
We'll have to ask Mom.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about Cody?
Oh, wow.
Cody James.
Wow, that's like a deep question
Yeah.
here, right?
Or just like an aspect of him that you love.
Well, it's funny listening to you guys just talk a little bit about the gym. I'll talk a little bit about that. I do have to say one thing that I've been really impressed with, not just Cody, but all three of you. You guys were talking about, all the different facets of this job, right? Of this gym and how you have to know so many different things. Yeah. The thing that I love that's made CrossFit 528 so successful is that you guys really do a great job of understanding each other's strengths and leveraging those strengths. Yeah. And so so each of you don't have to do everything. You guys do a great job of just passing it off and trusting each other. And there's times when it's like, okay, where are we at with the gym and things like that. But to see you guys kind of go from day one, which here we go, putting up these things and
thank you.
All of the different stuff in the gym. Night. But to see it go from day one, nothing in here, to
two full classes
last night. Yeah. In fact, Carolyn and I were trying to get on in one of the classes maybe a week ago. And we were like, it's completely full, which is really, really cool. And my hats are off to all of you guys for the culture that you make here.
Thank you.
Because, when you walk through the doors, it's like there's a different energy. Mm-hmm. There's an excitement. You're competing not against each other because, I love what you guys talked about. This is about competing against your own best self. Yeah. And you guys do communicate that. Is there a little bit of competition? Absolutely. We love that. But we're high-fiving and we're loving each other and enjoying the whole trip. And I loved how you've made the Open a great team environment. Yeah. And that's the coolest thing. So I think that's what separates, okay gyms to great gyms. And that's what is kind of doing it for you guys. So awesome. In regards to Cody, for me, it's been fun just with CrossFit 528 recently, just to see him. He's super focused and driven, but yet sees the big picture and what you guys are trying to accomplish. And he's open most of the time to receiving kind of like feedback and, insights as to, the classes and different things and people that we're working out with. And I didn't know this, but sitting back and listening to the interview, hearing you guys talk about each person in the classes in the morning and the afternoon says a lot about your guys' heart's desire for people and growing, becoming better, right?
Yeah.
And that's the part that I love so much about it.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
sorry,
You have a
that was a
favorite-
long. That was
Yeah,
a long.
that was good.
Cody, Skylar, Lauren.
Do you have a favorite memory with Cody? Like growing
man.
up as a kid, or like
Well,
on a trip or anything like that? Sports.
man, so it's funny. I see him when we, obviously when we go through birthdays. Cody's mom and I talk a lot about like just thinking about them as little kids. So Cody as a little kid was all over the place. We called him Tigger because he was always happy and joyful and like just loved life. And I think about him like going on trips and he would be all over the place. But the cool part is he was all over the place, but he was pretty darn obedient. And the part that I love most about him and just growing up that I think about him is his faith. It's like, it's really cool to be able to see him grow from a young kid to understanding his faith and love for the Lord, but then walking it out, right? And finding like-minded people like yourself, right, Sky? And so that's a part that I love most about him. And to watch him, like on the trips and then watching him in sports and traveling a ton, right? We did basketball traveling, football and baseball, and being able to not only see Cody, but you're a big part of that, right? And then just, early kind of high school years and then college, graduate, and seeing he and Lauren just kind of grow and blossom. Like that's my favorite part. I don't know if I have one particular, but it's probably maybe the 3 phases of life. For him. So
cool. Anything else about Cody?
No, just 26 years old. I'm like, for me, that's a tough one because for me, I have to look in the mirror and know I'm another year older. But I just, for me, I'm just super proud of Cody and just who he is and just the focus, understanding, like I said, the big picture, understanding and trusting. This took a lot of faith on all 3 of you guys' parts, but
as a parent,
that was. I still remember when Cody actually came over, and I thought something was completely wrong, and he says, "I want to talk to you guys about something." And he laid it all out, and we were super excited for him. We get nervous, and you guys all get nervous, but you're trusting the process, you're going with it, and that can't even make me more proud to be a dad to watch that. So
that's cool.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah. When Cody first loved Rich Froning, were you like, what is CrossFit? Or you're like,
yes,
this Rich guy's really cool?
Well, first of all, as you know, our CrossFit gym was in our home.
Yes.
It was supposed to be our playroom, right, for a number of years. And I helped Cody actually build his first, remember the platform that we actually built? We built a platform and it was just awesome. And then he ended up developing, getting, a rack for cleaning and everything we did. And so we had you, Sky, we had our neighbors. And so that's when I kind of started to understand a little bit of CrossFit. And then he would talk about Rich Froning and, I'd turn on the games and watch it, and I was pretty blown away too. Just super. And here's the cool part, man. This is what I love about Cody, and just he follows people that he knows has like-minded things, like Rich Froning, his faith, and that he pursues life just fully. Cody follows people like Rich, and so it's pretty cool to be able to see that. So opening up my eyes to CrossFit. Never thought I'd be able to do it until you guys started this, and
now you're doing it.
Really has changed our lives. I'm a whole lot more sore every day, but I feel great, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of it.
Brings back a little competitive nature from
it does,
from the past.
for sure. For sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, your mom's not here yet.
I know. I was gonna ask.
So my favorite thing about Cody, or my favorite memory. When I think of Cody, I think of he was the joy of our house. He really was. He was the kid that ran around
Tigger.
wild Tigger. We called him Tigger.
Yep.
And he was happy. He screamed happy for happy things. He screamed for sad things. He just was emotions and happy and pure joy. And the other thing I think about Cody is he was kind of the glue that kind of brought our family together in a lot of ways. Like both the bookends of Carson and Callie, they just both liked being around him because he was the fun and he was the joker, but they also were annoyed by him the most too.
Yes,
because he was the taunter. So he did whatever he could to mix things up and
Just the middle child.
yes, just the middle child. So there's a memory too that also Cody always liked attention, but he was quiet about it.
It's true.
So he
Still am.
be disciplined. Like he was harder on himself than anybody could be on him. Like you
what a
just
great
could look
memory.
at him wrong, and he was already sad.
Yeah.
But when he'd go to his room, he would put a pillow over his head.
Yeah, like when I got in trouble.
The
Case
pillowcase,
or the
the full pillow, but the case, and he would walk downstairs and bump into walls
On purpose.
on purpose, like he couldn't see, and he'd bump into all the walls for
So
attention.
stupid
So we had
to
to kind
think
of learn
about.
to ignore that
It's so
because
stupid.
it was his way of diverting.
I can think of it. Like I can like.
Like, oh, this will get him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish we had a video to insert.
I wish we did. That
Yeah.
would have. Oh.
Yeah, I wish I have lots of videos I could have inserted. So yeah, but he was fun. He was the easy one. He was chill.
Yeah.
He's quieter, intense. He's my most intense by far.
Really?
In the sense of athletics
Oh,
or
yeah.
competition
Yeah.
or perfection
Yeah.
or those kind of things. Intense that way.
Yeah.
And what I like about my memories of him as an adult are just becoming friends with him. And I have memories of him kind of all growing up of us being close and chatting at night. And now it's kind of just changed in a sense of now we're adult friends.
Yeah, that's
But I also love that now we're seeing a different side because now he's our coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's becoming a favorite memory.
Slowly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's hard on us in a good way, and it's also a transition of learning to just take criticism from him
Yeah.
or
Like the power
coaching.
dynamic for an hour a day is.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. But I love it. We love it. We go home and we're better athletes, better CrossFit athletes
Yeah.
because of Cody and because of you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys have very different styles, and they both feed us very well.
That's
So yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Cool.
So 26 on the 26th. Happy golden
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah, we were saying how.
Maybe you'll run a marathon.
Ooh. Yeah, no.
Today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Oh god.
Cody that's his original goal.
Yeah, I think I told everyone like, oh, that's what I was gonna do. And no.
No.
Had it not been the CrossFit Games
Oh, I'd do
opening,
it.
he'd do it. He's the
100%.
kid that would do
I'd
it.
do it.
So.
I did a
I'd
marathon.
be an hour behind. But
Mhm. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
cool.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Bye bye.